Hey everyone, I'm just going to do a quick video to show you how it is that I apply my Jamberry nail wraps, actually using the Jamberry heater here that I got when I signed up as a consultant with my starter kit. But I wanted to let you know that you don't need to use the heater to apply your Jamberry wraps. You can actually use your hairdryer from home, or you can actually use what is called the baggie method, which is those bags filled with rice that you can put in the microwave. You can actually use that as well. I haven't used that yet though, so I can't actually vouch on that, but the hairdryer and the Jamberry heater both give out the exact same results as well. But I actually wanted to show you that I've already went ahead and applied some wraps to my right hand last night, and I've applied these two wraps here called Atlantis and Celeb Status, and I got those results. So sometimes you can actually layer Jamberry wraps if they have a clear surface like this. You can pair them with other wraps, you can layer them over top of Jamberry lacquers, or you can actually layer them over top of your favorite nail polishes as well. So you get lots of options when it comes to the clear ones that you can get. Today I'm actually going to show you how to apply a different one though, and this one's actually called Berry Sparkler. It's actually the same texture, it's also a sparkly one. I had a hard time picking between the two, so I decided to wear one on my left and one on my right. So I'm going to be sporting this one on my left, and I've actually applied 3 of those ones already, sorry 4. So I'm going to show you one, but I got this effect with Celeb Status and Berry Sparkler, which kind of looks like that as well. Okay, but when it comes to applying your nail wraps, there are a few steps that you do need to follow, and they are important because, you know, if you don't apply them right, you will find that your nail wraps can come off. But they're not long, it's only a few steps. So the first step you're going to want to do is to actually prep your nail surface first. And you're going to want to do that using either a nail cuticle pusher like this, or an orange stick, which has almost like the same type of surface. And you're going to want to push back your cuticles, okay, as much as you can. I even go around here and push back the skin a little bit, but you have an invisible cuticle actually found around this area, almost like you can kind of see it. There's like a little moon there shape sometimes. It's kind of over top of that little shape sometimes, but I've actually already prepped my nail a little bit before this video, so that's actually already kind of gone, but I do deal with that myself. Alright, so after that, you're going to want to take an alcohol swab or a cotton ball with some rubbing alcohol of sort. You don't want to use acetone or anything, or nail polish remover or anything. I wouldn't recommend that anyways. But so you're going to want to take, I use actually an alcohol swab. I just got them at the dollar store, so I actually have a whole bag of them. But I'm just going to clean the surface. You want to do that for maybe a minute or so. I've already done this, so I'm not going to sit here and do it for a minute. But you want to just make sure all that natural oil is off, or dirt that you might have kind of got on there earlier. But I've already done that, like I said, so I'm going to go ahead and show you the next step, which is actually measuring the wrap to your nail size. So every nail size is different, as you can see. Actually, I'll show you on Atlantis here, though, because I've actually used up that one for that. So for Atlantis, I'm going to show you, so you get all different sizes. Okay, I've already used some, as you can see, but they've come in full wraps like that before. But see, here is actually, I've already eyed out the way I've measured out mine because I've been doing it for 9 months, but when it comes to actually sizing your nail, it kind of already plays out a little bit for you already. This kind of shows that, you know, it goes to your pinky, this one goes to your ring finger middle, but I mean, every nail size is different, so it might not be that way too, so you always want to make sure. These ones here actually are mainly for your toes, so your pedicure aspect, but I'll do another application video for that as well because it's a little bit different. But I actually can tell you that there's another way you can size your wraps, which is called the tape method. So what you do is you just take clear tape and you put it over top of your nail without color or color, doesn't matter, like lacquer or nail polish, and then you just kind of you take a permanent marker or a pen and you measure out and draw around the edge here, like that little U nail shape that you have. Okay, and then you should have a little bit of a template happening. So then what you do is you take your nail wraps. So some people actually cut, like if they know they're not going to be using these 3, they'll just automatically cut off the half part there so they can work with it and not have as much flimsy here to work with. But you can actually go like that, put there. So you size it up and then you put it onto the back and then you measure it that way, okay? And then you can either draw it onto the back here or you can just cut it automatically. Some people can do that as well. But I wouldn't suggest cutting it right away until you've actually learned to eye out what measurements it is too, even when you're just putting it onto here, because it can still get tricky and you can mess up a little bit. So you just be careful your first few applications. But anyway, so you get to the point of that, and I've already went ahead and kind of sized them out as well. But usually I get 2 applications out of my sheets because I cut mine automatically in half. I just find it's easier to work with, and sometimes I don't really want to work with the middle aspect of the wrap that's left. But I usually will just take the wrap and its sheet and kind of fold it up. So right now I'm just showing you on this one here because it's a full one. I've already cut it, so it's a little bit easier. But on a full wrap, I just kind of take this a little bit and kind of get that little edge up a little bit. I don't know if you can see, there's a little bit of an edge. Okay, and I just kind of get the orange stick under there and kind of flip it up. But you don't want to end up touching the undersurface with your fingers or anything other than like your orange stick, or even, you can even use this if you want. It's up to you. Everyone finds their own techniques once they start applying and getting the hang of it, but I use the orange stick for mine. So with this one that I've already went ahead and measured out and already have cut, I'll take the edge here, okay, so there's a little bit of a lip there I can grab onto, and then I kind of attach it. I kind of put a little bit of pressure onto the orange stick so it's attached to the orange stick, and I bring it up like that. Okay, so it's on the orange stick. And now I'm going to take my heat source, which is the Jamberry heater, and with the hairdryer, all you would have to do is turn it on and lay it onto the ground and just use it that way. That way you can use both your hands instead of having to use your hand and do it that way, because it will get tricky that way, believe me. But I usually just make sure it doesn't fall off. So again, don't touch this side, okay? Only touch the side that has the design, because like I said, it won't bond, it'll break the bond automatically. Okay, so what you're going to do now is go in front of the heat source, and you're going to watch for the wrap to slowly start to kind of bend a bit. You don't want it to be completely bent, or else it'll be too hard to line up. So I'm just going to bring it a little bit closer to you here, so that way you can see it kind of bending. Alright. That's good. Alright, so I'm just going to do that. Sorry. There we go. So you're going to kind of watch it. See, it's starting to bend. That's good. I usually maybe go a little bit on the front a little bit. You don't want to do too much. Okay, and then you're going to take your nail, and then you're going to line it up. You don't want to line it up too close to the edge, though, of your skin. You don't want this touching your skin, like I said, because it'll break the bond. And you're going to add pressure automatically. I use a bit more heat, and then I take my cuticle pusher, which is my magic wand for my application process, I like to call it. And then you want to take the cuticle pusher and then go from the edge here, so the top here, I'm just going to add a little bit more heat just to make sure, and then bring it down, okay, like that. You just want to put enough pressure on it. Sometimes you get a little bit of a bubble buildup or some air underneath, so it will build up a bit, but you just have to add some heat and a little bit of pressure and use this magic wand. Alright, so I think that should be good. Alright, so now your next step is going to be to cut the excess off. So there's excess at the end, right? So I'm going to take my nail scissors, which I suggest using. I wouldn't suggest using other big scissors that you would use for any other things around the house, because I find they're a little bit more, like they actually stick, I find, whereas these are actually perfectly sharpened, right, for your nails already, so it's easy peasy when it comes to going through your nail wrap. Alright, so I'm actually just going to cut off the excess now. You want to leave a little bit of excess too at the end of your nail. You don't want to just line it up to your nail, because otherwise when you're filing it down, the next step, you're going to end up ripping your nails, and you're going to end up filing your nails, and it's going to be all rough, and yeah, you won't like that. Alright, so I'm just going to actually add a little bit more heat just to make sure, because I was just touching it with something else. I'm a perfectionist too, so I've honestly have done my wraps in less than 15 minutes before. I can vouch for that for myself, but I've also taken as long as an hour. But I'm a perfectionist, and I always like to just make sure, so, you know, if you're in a rush and you do want to get them done, it is capable. I've done it. I did it on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve, so, and actually I layered my wraps as well that night, so. Alright, so now you're going to take your nail file, whether it be one from your store or one you already have. I have the Jamberry one, but you want one that's a little bit thicker, one that's maybe not has been used a lot, because you do want it to be kind of freshly, as you can kind of hear. Mine's a little bit used a bit, you can see a little bit of whiteness on it already, but I've noticed that when I've used or reused some files that it's not as beneficial. You don't get it as quick off as you could with a brand new one. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to go in a 90-degree angle downwards. You're not going to go like that, or else you are going to rip the wrap right up. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to go gently. With it being a sparkle finish, it might take a little bit longer. So you might notice that some wraps do take longer to apply, but you know, you just gotta be patient when it comes to them, because you do want to apply them right, or they won't last as they're supposed to. And they do last. Mine have lasted over 2 weeks. They always do. I just, you know, I like to keep them on that long to show use. Some ladies like to take them off within like a week, but you know, I like to sport mine. Alright, so I'm just going to show you here how it's starting to slowly, hang on, not as much, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the video if it's, alright, so I've already started, so it's actually completely bent now, so you can't even see that it's sticking out, so, but it's flimsy though, right, so you can kind of play with it now, but you still want to get it so that it's a little bit more thin, but you don't want to do it too rough, because again, you're going to rip up your nail, or you're going to make it, you're going to make your nail surface part rough though too. Alright. You'll start to sort of feel too when it's starting to come loose a little bit. You kind of feel it, I've noticed too as well. But if it's starting to get a little bit flimsy, like there's starting to be a little bit of a gap, I can see kind of like right up in there. But you can see how it's really flimsy now. So sometimes what I do, if it hasn't fallen off on its own, I'll take my nail scissors and I'll just kind of go on the edges, snip that, so here, so with the nail file sometimes it'll start to do that as well, but I just had to kind of work my way in there with the scissors a little bit this time, but that's okay, because you get it off actually a little bit better too. There we go. Alright, so I have most of the excess off now, so you see a little bit there, you can still see it kind of, you don't want that obviously, because it's going to catch on stuff and it's going to rip your nail wrap right off. So you're going to take your file again and just work that all off. I like to do my nails while I watch a movie or even watch TV, because I find that the hair dryer isn't even that, or sorry, the hair dryer. The hair dryer is quite loud. The Jamberry heater isn't as loud, so you can actually use it for stuff like that, whether it be for doing it when your kids are napping, or it's at nighttime when your kids are gone to bed. My friend actually applied her daughter's nail wraps while she was sleeping. Her daughter wouldn't cooperate while she wanted to do them during the day, so she couldn't figure out how she could get them on her daughter. And her daughter really wanted them on though too, so what she did was she tried applying them on at nighttime, and it was very beneficial with the heater because she didn't wake her up. So she was surprised in the morning when she woke up with her favorite wraps on. Alright, so now it's almost all off. So again, there's a little bit still here, but it's basically completely smooth. Sometimes I'll just jump right to the next one now and start doing the next finger, and once all my wraps are kind of to the same length, at the end I'll just go through them all and just kind of finish them up if I have the time. If I find that I'm not going to have a lot of time to do my wraps, like I don't want to sit here and do them for half hour or 20 minutes, or well, 20 minutes is really honestly the least time that you can really do them, but any more than that, you might want to just choose a wrap design, maybe that's not as thick, or, you know, not as long to apply, because I find it depends on the texture as well. So it's basically all on. It is on. It's just, I'm going to go through it later and kind of fix it up, but usually afterwards I'll apply a little bit of this Jamberry clear coat here. It's actually specially designed for nail wraps and whatnot, so you can apply that safely to nail wraps. You can actually apply cuticle oil as well afterwards, but I wouldn't recommend doing that right after you apply your nails. I would do that maybe on day 2 or day 3 even, because you want to make sure that that bond just kind of works its way there all day and kind of works through, because I find once you add oil right away, I've learned the hard way, it will seep under still and actually rip, well, not rip, it'll lift up the wraps. So I would suggest if you're going to use oil or even a moisturizer, hand moisturizer, wait it like even half a day, even if it's going to, not right after. And then there's this stuff here, which is the base coat here, Jamberry base coat. So you can use that. It actually fills the nail ridges, surfaces on your thing there, because I find a lot of people after they wear acrylics and stuff, they get the damaged nails underneath, which I find that this helps wonders for that. I have a few nails that were like that when I first started wearing Jamberry, and I started using that underneath the wraps and it worked perfect. I don't really need to use it too much now, but I use it mainly for my parties, but it's very beneficial if you do have that problem. But yeah, that's it. That's easy. I would apply my second wrap, but I would probably bore you, so I'm not going to do that. So I would like to say thanks for watching my videos, and I'm glad you're bearing with me. I'm getting there with them, but if you have any questions, like I said, just feel free to ask me, inbox me, or just comment underneath this video, or even onto my Facebook account. And yeah, I will answer any of your questions, and I can even help you pick out some cute little wraps for you this summer. So let me know if you need any help. Alright, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk soon. Bye!